Hey. Hi. I see you guys all have your stuffed animals. All right. So here's what I want you to do. First thing is think of a name, not of someone you know. Think of a name, because you're going to name your stuffed animal right now. You don't have to tell it to me. Just keep it with you. And this is Freddie. And we're going to come back to Freddie in just a little while. And I'm going to sit him right here. I don't know if anyone was sitting here, but it'll be Freddie's seat now. My name's Shermain Melton. I think I want to first start off by telling you all that I was a leader in the corporate space for over 25 years. And in that space, it was really fun because I got to help people make a bigger impact. And now, I help people make a bigger impact with my business, Courage to Impact. I'm the Chief Courage Officer. I'm Black, I'm gay, and I'm a born-again Christian. And I was terrified of telling the world that this was me. Terrified. Because I grew up in the church. And in the church, it's not good to be gay and a Christian. And in some spaces, Black as well. I remember hearing stories about people who were in the church, parents in the church whose kids came out. And you know what some of those parents did? They kicked them out. They abandoned them. They said, "You're not welcome in our home anymore." And I was terrified of that happening to me. And so you know what I did? I hid it. For 25 years, I hid a part of who I was. Because I wanted to be loved and I wanted to belong. And so it was easier for me to be someone that I wasn't. Because then I could be accepted. I could be accepted for the person that I wasn't. And it was super hard to be myself. Because then I would risk being rejected. You see, all I wanted was to be loved and to belong. Whew. That's who I am. Why I do this work is for that exact reason. I don't want people to have to hide who they are ever. Ever. You see, when you are yourself, great things happen. This is what I tell my clients. Another reason I do this work, 2015, I got a text message from my little brother, and the text message said, "Dad is dead. Get to the hospital now." Ugh. In that moment, I think about all the time, because that was a really important moment in my life. You see, my dad passed away from cancer, and I decided that day, you know what I decided to do? Before I heard the news, it was a Monday. I decided to go back to work. Why? It's so that I could avoid what I knew was happening. That was a moment where I decided, well, it was a wake-up moment. I thought, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I thought, what's the impact you want to make in this world? Are you doing it now, or do you want to do something different? And as you know, I'm doing something different. And so as a coach, my mission is to help people be more courageous in their own lives, to live their truth, to be themselves, because when they are themselves, great things happen. As far as the work that I do, this is always fun for me because people always ask, like, well, how do you do what you do? What's your method? What's your process? And so I'm going to tell you what that is now. There's 4 steps. And the first is to dream. The second is to become. The third is to create. And the fourth is to win. To create. This is all about answering the one question. What do you want to create? And I love this question because it allows me to work with my clients and really get them thinking about what's the thing that they've been longing to create? What's that thing they've been too scared to do and too nervous to really even talk about? What do you want to create? What makes it even funner is I get to connect it to their values and their mission and their purpose and the things in their life that give them energy. What do you want to create? The second step is to become. You see, in order for you to create anything, you have to become it. And so you may be asking, well, what do I mean? I grew up in poverty. I have 7 siblings, and there were times where we didn't have electricity. There were times where we didn't have water. It was tough. And as a kid, I thought, I don't like this. I don't want to grow up and be poor. And now I'm a self-made, debt-free millionaire. And I had to become the person that would create that. I had to first decide, what do I want to do? How do I want to make this happen? And so I decided I wanted to level up. I needed to level myself up. I decided I wanted to be a network engineer. And so I self-taught myself network engineering, this technical stuff. And I would sit in the cafeteria. I'd get to work 2 hours early, sit in the cafeteria and study. I'd have my bag with my books and my note cards and my pencils and my laptop so I could watch videos. 2 hours every day. I did that for over a year. And as I was studying, I would pass certification test 1, and then 2, and then 3. And then I got this opportunity to work another job. Someone said, hey, I see you. Want to come work for us? And I said, this is a great opportunity to get myself out of debt. Because who wouldn't want financial freedom? You see, in my mind, I knew that I didn't like debt. And one of the things that would make it easier for me to make a bigger impact was to get myself out of debt. So I decided to work for 3 years, 80 hours a week to make it happen. And I got myself out of debt. It was the most difficult thing I ever done. The hardest thing. Actually, the hardest thing was telling the world that I was gay. That was the hardest thing. So, yeah. To become. Let's talk about Freddie now. So, if you guys have thought about your names, this is Freddie. And so Freddie, he's got this great smile on his face. It is so welcoming and becoming, and it's like, aw, right? You look at him and I say, aw. And he's my 2 favorite colors. I love blue. As you can see, I'm wearing blue. And he challenges me to play small. He sometimes tells me that I'm not enough. He sometimes says, what are you doing? Who are you? You see, he's my fear. But you know what I learned about Freddie? This dude, he's just trying to keep me safe. He doesn't want any hurt or any harm to come from me. And so anytime you have those thoughts, it's your Freddie, whatever you named your person, speaking to you. Just wants to protect you, keep you safe. And the cool thing I like to do with Freddie is I like to repurpose him. You see, instead of him being my fear, he's going to now be my cheerleader. He's going to say, hey, Shermain, you can do it. Shermain, you got this. No problem. And so I would challenge you as you go home with your stuffed animals and these thoughts come to your mind that may be trying to keep you playing small or staying safe. Switch it up. Know that your Freddy's just trying to keep you safe, but that's not always the best thing, and that's not always courageous. Okay? To become. To create what you want, you need to become that thing. You need to embody that thing. Maybe it's embodying being courageous. One of the questions I ask my clients when we're in this phase is, where do you want to be more courageous in your life? And so that's to become. So we got to dream, to become, now we move to create. And this is a fun one because it's all about slowing down. You see, in our world today, we love to do things. We love to multitask. We love to have our to-do lists. We love to get things done. And so to create, I challenge my clients to slow it down, to focus on one tiny step forward. And the fun thing is, when you focus on one tiny step, you get to look back and you get that momentum. And you can do another thing and another thing and another thing. The challenge with multitasking is most of us don't do it very well. The final step is to win. And so this is where we celebrate. This is all about celebrating. You see, in our culture today, what we're taught at young ages is don't boast, be humble. But we're never taught to celebrate ourselves. We're never taught that. Matter of fact, when I was working with David, he did this celebration circle. It was terrible. You see, you're welcome. He told me to invite it was like 10 people that I loved and trust. I invited like 10 or 15 people. And they all came on this call, and I had to sit there and say nothing while they celebrated me, while they said what they loved about me. And it was so hard to sit there and receive. So hard. And so this fourth phase is to win. You see, we don't celebrate ourselves enough. We will celebrate someone else really easily. Really easily. But when it comes to us, we quickly change course. Oh, thank you so much. It was this person that helped me. It's hard to receive. To dream, to become, to create, and to win. If you want to get a hold of me, you can. And here's how to do it. You can go to Shermain Melton or type in courage to impact, and you'll find me. And so here's my challenge to you. To anyone that's watching this or anyone in the live audience, reach out to me and tell me the answer to this question. Where do you want to be more courageous? And how can I help you? You see, we don't get there alone. Meaning, wherever we are, someone else helped us get there first. And that's what I do. I help people get there, but not alone. You see, for all my life, I wanted to belong and to be loved and to be seen and to be heard. And my people do also. So, thanks for hearing me today.